All right, there we go. I had my mic muted there for a second. Looks like all the streams are up. Let me boost up the volume for the game. Yeah, welcome to Where Winds Meet. As you can see, I have a different outfit, but this is a temporary one that we got from the current event that's going on. The Great Faceologist, where you basically, at least my understanding of it, right, make interesting characters, well, interesting, cute, nice looking, whatever you prefer, and they vote on it. Just to give you an idea, yeah, people submit their creations and the community votes on what they think is the best. More or less. I did my own submission, but I don't think it was working properly, but we'll leave it at that. And according to the event, we got this appearance, which is only for 3 days. As you can see, the timer symbol right there. I might even get this one. It's a very nice hairstyle, and I do like the red and black in the outfit. But when you think about it, most of the outfits are dyeable, so you kind of have to wonder whether you really wanted to. So why is this NPC over here? Sec. Or is it just because they're a Mercy Heart NPC? Anyway, yeah, not gonna be much of a stream today. I'm just gonna be practicing Tian Ying. I've managed to get him down on Abyss, but I have not managed to clear the trial on Abyss without taking damage. His third phase always gets me. It's so tricky. I haven't found a consistent way of parrying him during that final phase. It's just, it happens so fast, and even though it's gonna sound very defeatist, I feel like I don't even have the reaction time to actually parry one of his attacks. Like, he'll do, if you're near him, he'll do this one stab that comes out lightning fast. No matter how much I've tried, I could not parry that. I felt the same way about his multiple kicks during phase 2, but somehow that worked out. But this feels like a whole nother ball game, to be honest. I might just do the running away strategy here, like stay away during phase 3. But yeah, it's just essentially gonna be me trying Tian Ying over and over in the stream. I'll probably keep going for like 2 hours, and then we'll call it as well. So in view of, let me just make sure all my inner ways and skills are what we need. I will be needing, do I want to use Yak Remorph? Remorph does feel useful now and then. Especially if you manage to get Tian Ying in the air, though I feel like he lands extremely quickly too. I might just move the goose. And I was hoping that we could use Ghost Bind during the ad phase. Unfortunately, Ghost Bind doesn't work on the enemies for some reason, for some other reason. I guess because they are ineffective against powerful enemies and players. I was hoping that the ads would not count as a powerful enemy, but they apparently does. So we will remove that. I'll put that there because I feel like I'm gonna have to use these two a lot. Maybe just swap Remorph and that. Oh, I accidentally removed it. Where is Remorph? Area, single target. Is it just damage? Remorph? Single target control. Oh, that sort of makes sense. There. And we'll have the goose. Well, I don't need the invisibility spell, but I'll change the spots just so that I remember where to use the goose. And yeah, in case anyone was wondering what my build is looking like, I'm going tank, and I don't have anywhere near the amount of inner ways to make this as quick as possible and as easy as possible. So it's just pretty much suffering. And let us begin. Take a sip of my cup of coffee over here. I'm so sorry to anyone if that sound of me slurping the coffee is in the mic. hope he doesn't do his beam attack immediately, because that is always... Yeah, that's always one thing I hate. Did I... Oh, I meant to reset, not exit. Back in we go. Suffer some more. I hope I'm not rusty for not playing the entire day. Then rather the entire week, but hey. Weekend. Start off with the spear. And hope it's not the beam again. Clean phase 1, just because we got those additional extra attacks off. Yeah, I should really avoid that attack. I feel like sometimes it just bugs out. Either there's a delay in between it and check, even though it looks like he's just going ora ora ora. There must be some sort of delay in between the two. And I generally feel like that is the worst attack you have to deal with in phase 2. Ta-da! Like doing the Meridian touch there just because it gives us an extra window to charge up a low blade. I'm just gonna ignore you there. Oh, I'm a little too far. I should have remembered that he was gonna do his roundhouse kick. I keep forgetting now. Take me a while to get back into the swing of remembering his patterns, but hopefully we'll be okay. Whoa. So let me switch off my OBS preview. Somehow having the preview on the second screen tends to distract me, even though it really should not be doing that. So I'm realizing I have not enabled my divine craft here. What? Okay. Why are we performing so bad tonight? Alright, focus time. Kinda wish we didn't have this black screen in between to just start the battle off. wanted to do. I let go of the charge way too soon there. I was gonna do the charger, so that's good. What was that? What did I get? Oh, did I knock him out of this? We got very lucky with the first roundhouse kick because we were on a higher platform and he could not turn in time. But I hesitated on the other one. Hesitation is defeat, as they say. Ooh. Yeah. Always hated when it starts off with the beam. Too much on his side there. I took the risk because I wanted to get in charge in with the drum beat and the barricade, but that was not worth it. Our aim is to not get hit. So he's trying to blindside us with the beam again. I should be remembering to use my... I am so out of practicing using mystic skills, right? Even though they're like the most useful thing to have in the game. Well, just... okay. Not what I was expecting you to do, but I'll take it. Getting hit by I feel like I need even more practice on phase 2 now. That was one of the attacks that I'm most comfortable with, and I just got hit. Phase 1 is okay, just because we're doing so much damage that we're pushing immediately. Took the risk to try and get the dot. You know what? Let's just avoid putting the dot. I feel like I'm so unfamiliar with the mystic skills. I played for so long without using any of them that just using them tends to slow me down. And I'm not sure entirely of where the animation locks are on a lot of these things. don't have enough charge. Interesting. If I have one charge, not enough to use the follow-up. Gotta remember to use the shield next time. There we go. Good phase 1 again. Yeah, I'm really not worried about phase 1. It's phase 2 where things get weird. And phase 3 in general. Phase 2 is just... I can't believe I didn't see that just because the camera was off kilter. I didn't recognize it for the kick it was. Because we have a lot to learn before we can be getting anywhere close to doing this hitless. Barrier. It's because we're losing so much extra damage that I'm not using it. Practice phase through just because I absorbed that one attack with the shield. Okay, never mind. Never mind, really. Just getting hit that one time is throwing me off kilter. I should remember that he has a tendency to do that immediate roundhouse afterwards. But was that? I always expect it after he goes into the air, but never before. Like never twice when he's on the ground. That might be what's throwing me off, personally. Not sneak attack. Should have used the barrier instead of charging up. Sure I have enough resources. Got too greedy. I thought we could... There is an animation lock on the end of the Moblade Charge Strike. So if you do that as an attack, you cannot parry or dodge out of it. Well, maybe you could... You know what? Let me check that real quick. Yeah, you can parry out of it, but you cannot dodge out of it. You can only dodge out of it when the animation's over. And since we are relying on the dodge there, You miss. Took the risk, it was worth it this time. Ah, I gotta wait. And we're not lacking for resources for once. Color me surprised. I thought I got the parry on it. Yeah. It's phase 1 that I pretty much okayed myself with. I still need more practice on phase 2 apparently. Speaking, I had enough time to do what needed to be done there, but it was a little too slow. The fire breath is actually pretty damaging. It's his other variation where he just comes out of the kick. I have no idea how to distinguish between the two. I guess I just need to be looking at whether he's... Or just double tap for safety, right? Just double tap there. Because he can do the delayed one, and I think if we double tap, we can catch the delayed one regardless. Another instance of where I should have used the shield first. I took the risk, but he got me. Or maybe I should just use the shield at the start just to get some resources before we go into battle, right? And we'll be on cooldown by the time I shift out of sphere anyway. Yeah, and that seems a better way to start off the battle. Second one, I accidentally keyed it in. But that was a... Yeah, that seems a better way to start here. Just make sure you use your shields for the resources, and then go in. The stagger on that first one. He did the beam attack there when I was right next to him. Yeah, the stagger on the first one actually made him leave. It's not ideal. Usually does not stagger there too. But we got a lucky crit in that changed the tide. So many variables to account for. Second hit was powerful. Wow.
敲山震虎。
No, double tapping doesn't work. I just need to decide on that split second whether he's gonna do the follow-up with the arm strike or the kick. And until we figure that one out, or get lucky with that one, we're not getting past phase 2. Because that's his most consistent attack in phase 1. Phase 2, not phase 1. Phase 1 is totally okay. Like phase 1, if I'm messing up, that just means I need to stop practicing.
在看哪儿？
Okay, then maybe it's not too safe to do the slam down there, even though it looks cool.
敲山震虎。
Not worth it. Better to play it safe if we're just trying to not get hit. In fact, just running around Mikh'a or Tian Ying here might just be the better way to go, all things considered. Sometimes I forget he has a follow-up to that too. Clean sweep. Got this display it safe with you here. Oh, okay. Never expect him to go there. Maybe because his cheese. That was too early. At around 50% he's... And I'm getting hit by this now. Maybe because his chi is at around 50%, he's jumping because he normally doesn't do that. He does at least one of those roundhouse kicks
我要打10个。
before he starts jumping away, which is kind of weird. But this is the pattern I guess I need to get used to with the amount of damage I'm doing to him. took a risk to see whether I could use the shield and parry out. I probably can. I was a bit slow there. Like the drum beat into charge. You don't even need to use that, to be honest, though. Okay. I swear there are sometimes I'm just stuck in my animation when that happens. Like if I'm not spamming
乔山震火，
parry immediately, I tend to get hit. Not fun. Okay. What was that combination? I've never seen you do that. Oh dear, now I'm getting thrown off by even this. Well, yeah. I expect it will take me a week more to actually get this hitless, but we'll keep trying. So I forgot to use my shields this time.
风雷，
Wow. I'm really rattled now if I'm getting hit even by the one attack that I'm most confident in. So let's not forget to use the burn dot at the beginning. I feel like I'm not using it enough. Okay. Alright, new tactic. Before we go in, we're using the shields, and I'm also going to use Drunken Boy. Just for that buff, so that our flames are going to come out almost immediately. Okay, he managed to escape. I'm still kind of surprised that I can delete his entire health bar with just 2 charge attacks. Yeah, maybe it really is just his T getting to 50% that causes him to immediately go over there. I was hoping Yaksha would launch him. It's one thing that I've never tested before, but it doesn't seem like not Yaksha. A free morph actually launches him there. Kind of a shame we can't actually make use of that stagger window. He gets his poise back a little too soon for it to be of any use. Yeah, that might be a good way to approach. Yeah, I feel like using that spear's other attack might be a good way to approach. Oh, okay. So you didn't want to get staggered. Wrong button. Ah, come on. I need even faster reactions just to get used to his kicks now. I'd probably be using Drunken Poet too early on in the other fight. But I feel like the moment I use it, he's gonna just rush me. This is going, like, you know what? I am so confused about what's happening. Why is this going into this so early on? I knew it was coming and I still got hit. Now, I'm being way too lax here. Let me do the gamer move of actually moving forward in my chair instead of leaning back comfortably and trying to do this, because we are not getting this in any way state where we are comfortable. Probably not getting it tonight either, but hey, I'm okay with that as long as we get more and more practice. You bastard. Trying to blindside us there. I'm surprised I didn't get hit there, to be honest. His direction was so off for some reason. My parry timing went completely bonkers, even though I knew it. Okay, so maybe using the knockdown isn't safe either. Really wish we had like a consistent way of locking him into one pattern, just to make things a lot easier. Now I'm getting hit by that attack. Not fun. Just one hit to knock him into phase 2. I was hoping to knock him out of this animation, but it doesn't seem to work that way. Honestly, I'm not too bothered by him doing this, though. He disappeared. I swear he disappeared there. That was not how that usually goes. Maybe I'm trying. Okay. The idea is that if I use my shield, he's going to be baited into doing the jump attack almost immediately, because I feel like he does that each and every time I attempt to do that. The problem was, I think he got caught on the terrain or whatever invisible wall there is doing that thing. Beam. It's always the beam. Whatever invisible wall. Anyway, what's coming back to where I was. Whatever invisible wall there is. But then the game decided that, hey, he needs to be in front of the player immediately. I can't tell if I got hit or if I did not get hit. Okay, now I definitely got it. Having to intoxicate myself at the start is weird, though. Not used to just using mystic skills. You're not gonna do the beam this time, are you? I'm getting a lot of endurance, so I should really be just using these mystic arts a lot more. But they feel, in a way, it feels so clunky, right? Because they just lock you into animation, and I don't feel like you are too safe when you're using a lot of these. And some more swings there. Very nice counter. I was hoping to shift to mobily there, but I don't think my weapon change input got registered. He does this every time, huh? And now he's off. Okay. Maybe if I use Meridian Touch early enough, I can knock him out of it. And then let's hope. Yeah, that's the animation that I'm expecting him to do. And now I'm too prepped for the quick kick and not his slower palm attack. Maybe I should just be practicing phase 2 with the amount of times I'm getting hit there. Because phase 1 we have on lockdown, more or less, most of the time. Most of the time. But this was not one of those times.
乔山震虎，
For some reason, I feel like I parry a lot earlier with the spear that I do with the Mo Blade. I've been using the Mo Blade for so long. Only the Mo Blade, I mean. Having the spear as a backup weapon is weird because I usually just run around with a Panacea fan. Blade. Yeah, I need to make sure to learn the timing for that, because if I don't expect it, I can never never counter it. It's only when I feel like, hey, he's gonna do the blade that I can actually parry it. Like here, I'm sort of expecting him to do it, so it's okay. Yeah, I was too on his side. You need to be directly behind him to avoid moving, otherwise I'll need to move to the side while I'm charging. This is all my fault for saying that we had phase 1 on lockdown, more or less. I might be just a tad bit tired, though. I'm waking up so early to watch the Game Awards. Oh, right. You're dodging. Yeah, I might be a little too tired for this, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going because I don't want to sleep so early.
乔山震虎，
I just really want to practice getting to his phase 3 and phase 3 itself. I was hoping we'd be in phase 3 practice, but apparently I need to be doing a lot more during the actual Abyss fight to be getting there. Oh, my weapon. I didn't even have enough time to use that. Yeah, I really hate it when he does the multiple punches. It's just so... There's some... Okay, now I'm getting hit because I'm thinking, we'll just go for practice. Okay, never mind. I got hit twice. We're not going. It just feels so awkward when you're getting pushed to the side. There's something weird, very weird about it. I know that the best way to do it is to just parry it, but There's also something weird with the parry too, and I don't quite know how to explain it. Was I stuck in animation? I think so. If I want to do that, I'll need to immediately shift and do... Maybe I can follow up, right? If I use the Moblade. It's not too much of a gap closer, though. And the problem with the weapon change combo, I believe... Yeah, the weapon change combo, or the weapon change skill, cannot be parry cancelled at the start of the animation. You can only parry cancel it at the end. Because I am spamming my parry button while we're doing this. And it's only after that animation that I can do the parry cancel, which is not ideal.
过来吧你！
I almost never use the weapon cancel combo. This feels a little too clunky to use again. So bad. Right. Getting hit by the most basic of attacks. And I always end up being vaguely surprised when I get hit by the delayed kick, because I feel like that's one of those moves I should technically always be able to do perfectly. This only shows that I need even more practice. I don't even know why I did it. I just wanted to get him out of that. We can just try parrying it next time. I hope for the best. I've been dodging all this time thinking it's a better way to go, but I feel like... No. Yeah, I'm gonna double tap it from there now, from now on, just because I can't quite tell whether he's gonna do the kick or whether he's gonna delay and do the palm strike. Play it safe. Or so I say, but it's gonna take a while for me to get rid of my muscle memory that I built up just practicing that. still goes, but getting all those parries in is pretty good.
我要打10个。
It would be nice if you got the other parry there too, to be honest. No. Maybe it's because in the back of my mind I'm like, I'm gonna mess up something here. And it keeps happening. A self-fulfilling prophecy, as it were.
过来吧你！
No need to use the charge attack there. His HP was already low. Okay, time for the real phase here. Oh, already got hit. I should be backing off the immediately, but he's going nuts here. Yeah, I still need a lot more practice here to do this hitless because we are getting hit non-stop, and that is the one move that is the most predictable. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go get a snack first before we keep continuing. Just because I am so parched right now and a bit hungry. So give me like 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Maybe 10 minutes. But yeah, Oh, hey, Calix. Welcome to the stream. Kind of surprising that this is my game of the year for 2025. You know what? You know what? I'd actually say I'm kind of surprised myself. See, the story with Where Winds Meet and me is it basically went like this. At the start of release, right, I was very excited from all the trailers and everything. I knew that this was the kind of game that I usually like. But on release, I discovered that it was like, it had gacha elements. It was following, wait, let me escape from here so that I can show you guys the menus and everything. Yeah. On release, I found out that it had gacha elements and that it was following the usual gacha game formula, right? Lots of menus, lots of upgrades. You have to upgrade weapons, you have to upgrade skills. And then you have to upgrade even your equipment. And the moment I found that out, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like playing this. So I did not play this for an entire week when it came out. But then a friend of mine was like, this is definitely your game, even if you don't like the constant upgrades. Because I feel like with gacha games, right, a lot of the gameplay is designed to just keep you grinding over and over again. Yes, correct. That's one of the reasons why I ended up liking this game. But besides that, I still dislike a lot of what we have to do, like tuning your weapons to max. I don't like it. Leveling up all your skills, all your weapons. Oh, you have to grind out materials for those. Leveling up each of your individual skills. I feel like this gameplay system, the game could have done without it. But the one thing that I will say is, in terms of battle systems, they do not have any gachas at all. And that might be the one thing that has kept me in this game. Because once I started, the first thing that happened was I went right into the field over here. This is your starting area, the bamboo abode. Let's just teleport over there, like real quick. Yeah, once I started over here, if we very quickly run over down to where the archery challenge is. And hopefully I don't kill myself from jumping from very long heights. But yeah, once I started the game, and after the opening sequence where you're introduced to some of the characters, immediately, like you can see here right now, all these little red hats are player deads, right? So they did the Elden Ring thing of having a very high level enemy, well in this case a boss, right at the start of the game. And I was immediately hooked. I was level 2, I spent the entire day just fighting that boss. There is world level, which is also something I hate. Because there is a world level, I have not leveled up my world level at all. As you can see, my solo mode level is level 5. That's just basically one world level up from the default the game puts you at, which is 30. And the actual world level right now is level 8. And at some point I do have to break through. The reason I have not broken through is, again, I don't like all the grinding. I don't like doing all the dailies and everything over and over again just to get myself back to the same amount of power I was at before, right? But at some point I'll have to go over to the next region, which is where the next story quest is. And I do believe once I start this story quest, I will eventually have to break to the next world level to continue. Because even now, like, there are some activities here that require, like, I can't do either of these because these require 51. So I have to break through. I spent the majority of my time just exploring this place, right? Trying to 100% all of these little areas. And more than that, like, this is trying to 100% these is like my break thing, right? The main reason that I have ended up like really liking the game is for the bosses, and I have been trying to perfect each and every one in this region. And this boss that we were on just now is the hardest of them by far, Tian Ying. He is extremely annoying to parry. His first phase is okay, but get to second phase and third phase and he's an absolute menace. It's very easy to get hit. And the challenge for this is to clear the trial on the hardest difficulty without taking damage. I was okay for most of the others, but this boss has really been challenging that. Objectively for this area, right, which is Ying, I have not gone to Kai Feng. I have not played the story over there. I have not played the bosses. Some of my friends tell me that Wolf Maiden is equally hard. This one came out today, so I have no idea. But so it's a tie between Wolf Maiden and Tian, I believe. But yes, the whole reason that I ended up surprisingly liking the game is just for the bosses. And before I knew it, right? Before I knew it, I had put in 141 hours into this game. Well, that is the longest I've ever played a gacha game. I have not gone beyond 100 hours at all with any game, not even Genshin. Wuthering Waves barely made it to 50 once you got to the route of breaking worlds and everything. I was like, yeah, no. And let me tell you, that's 141 on only this. On only console. I have played this on PC as well, and I have around another 50 hours on PC. So yes. No, I think it's fair, right? Because when I say gacha, I don't only mean the draw system where you draw everything with a chance to get it, even though it's cosmetic, right? For me, gacha it's more than just the drawing with a chance, right? Gacha games itself has a certain gameplay design, and this whole thing, the multiple currencies, the many menus, the battle passes, and the world levels, the constant upgrades over everything. And you have to understand, the amount of things that I have to upgrade is very minimal because I've only broken through once. Once I broke to 50, I only got one additional system, which was this, my inner ways. But once you break to 55, you get an additional thing you can upgrade called the arsenal. And beyond 55, you have an additional thing called divine craft. So those systems are systems which are usually implemented in gacha game design, which is why I still refer to it as gacha. And I'm not meaning that in a bad way, mind you. I really like this game, and like you said, it is very surprising that this is a game I liked so much that I've been playing it non-stop. Honestly, I liked it so much that I actually paid real embarrassing thing, I'm so unfamiliar with battle passes and monthly subs in the traditional gacha sense. I was like, you know what? I really like this game. I played it for around 100 hours. I think it's worth spending on it. So I was like, I'm gonna buy the battle pass, right? I'm so against these type of games. For spending on these, I mean, because I don't like the system. But I'm so unfamiliar to it. I was so unfamiliar with it. I was like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy the monthly fund. This is the battle pass. I'm gonna get the battle pass stuff. Except I didn't realize that this is a completely separate thing from the battle pass. This is just something that gives you login bonus rewards each day when you log in. The actual battle pass is this. It's for $10. I would have bought this, but I did not. This is how unfamiliar. Exactly. The daily login thing is, I'm so unfamiliar with it, right? That's the problem. And quite honestly, between you and me, I'm stealth willing to spend on the Elite Battle Pass for this game. I really, really like this game. I think even with the gacha elements, just because, right, on your point, I do believe it is a bit unfair to compare it with the others, right? The monthly pass. Yeah, I read the fine print, right? But going back to what you were saying, it's not fair to compare this with the other gacha games. I do believe there is truth to that, right? because one of the gripes I have with the other gacha games is your battle system is locked behind drawing for characters. You have to draw for a character to, if you take Genshin, right, you're limited to a certain type of elements with the free character roster, unless you're going into the gacha and drawing for stuff. And same, when a new character comes out, a new battle system is introduced, you have to draw on the gacha to get it. But that's not the case with Where Winds Meet. Everything in this game is available as long as you're willing to explore for it, right? All these types, right? Tanking, DPS, DPS, normal DPS, healing. Then there are a couple of others too. All the gameplay systems are available for you, and that I feel like is an amazing choice. All the gacha in this game is just cosmetics, and they have done an amazing job in their cosmetics. I am so impressed by their cosmetics. I sort of wish Final Fantasy 14 did this as well, especially for the mounts. I'm going to show you guys what the mounts look like. Give me a second if I can navigate the menus over here. Not these, right? Where are you? Is it in the draw? Or is it in the shop? I feel like it's in the shop. Why am I not finding it? Appearance? Yeah, okay. So, normal horses. It is making money. It is making bank. Because absurdly, despite the fact that we are saying not to compare it with a gacha game, this has one of the most terrible examples of a gacha system in the game. There is a mount in this game that it has been obtained by a person for 42k. 42k, not thousand. Well, 42,000, right? Yeah, 42k basically, 42k dollars. So yes, the whales are spending on it. The glamours are good, and even yeah, as I was saying before, I'm impressed by even the mounts, right? These are your normal mounts, the horses. Okay, not too impressive, but these. Now these are the fun ones, right? Unfortunately, I can't. Can I actually view this? Can I run with this? I kind of want to show you guys. Yeah, this one, amazing, right? This is a reference to, well, I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to guess where this is from. But yeah, a lot of the mounts are like really, really fun. The horse king, really not sure how I can show its animation. But yeah, yes, correct. It is a Kung Fu Hustle reference, and there is a lot of Kung Fu Hustle stuff in this game. They have references to it packed, right? But yes, before I get too distracted again, I kind of wish Final Fantasy XIV's mounts did this too. If you use this mount, you're not riding this husky. This husky is dragging you along for it. Can I actually try it? It's too bad. I feel like there is a way to sort of see what it does. And the mount speed the same. But yes, if you buy this husky, it will drag you along, and it is hilarious. The same for the goose. You're just riding a goose. It's kind of odd, right? And there are mounts that I've seen that are not in the game yet, but on the Chinese side, there is a leopard mount. Now, in Final Fantasy XIV, you'd be riding the leopard. In this game, the leopard is chasing after you, and your character is running for your life, and it is absolutely hilarious. I wish they had a similar kind of fun mounts in Final Fantasy XIV. And it's the same for appearances. A lot of these are like, okay, very, very good. I like this one. I like this one. I think this one is very cute. This is one of the most popular female glamours I've seen. All of the cosmetics are the gachas, and the cosmetics are exceptionally good. Right. This is the amount of effort I want Final Fantasy XIV to be putting into their cosmetics. I'm not gonna lie. If you go to the draw, is it the draw? Yeah, confusing stuff. Featured appearance, can I Can I actually show it? New items available in draw. It's in the reward preview. Yeah. This is the boss that I was fighting against. You know the boss is when they have the boss's costume in the game like this. But yeah, I feel like these the legendary skins are a bit over the top. I don't quite want them. Even this one, right? As much as I like the cloak, I don't like all the shiny effects. Yes, it is, because most MMO mounts are either you ride them or you fly with them. It doesn't have any fun features, right? There are a couple of mounts in Final Fantasy XIV that are kind of fun just because of your character type. Like if you're a Lalafell and you try to ride a bike, your character is so short that they don't reach the pedals, so they're just hanging on for their dear life. And there are some other mounts like the Marlboro mount. Like if you get that mount, your character is grabbed by the Marlboro and carried around. Another fun one is a fairy mount. That fairy will carry you in the air by dragging you along your neck. But it's kind of similar, but I still feel like Werewolf's Meat does it a lot better, to be honest. And the gacha system is in cosmetics as well as weapons. I do believe the weapons are where people take the most time to actually... Can I show it to you guys? I feel like I can, even though I have not messed with it at all. Is it an appearance? Yeah, weapon. Now, if you go over here, you can either purchase them, and once you purchase them, I don't have the menu yet. Once you purchase them, what you can do is you can put in money on different slots, one for appearance, one for color, one for the effect. So there are effects like ice and fire and earth, and it's all customizable to whatever you want. But then there's also like a default appearance that people like the best. All right, this is something you get. That's cosmetic, by the way. This is something you get for perfecting 10 of the bosses on trials on very hard. The actual weapon I'm using is the tank weapon, which is the Mo Blade, which is the large sword you're using. I was not expecting to like it because usually I do not like weapons that have a charge skill, but the Mo Blade's attacks are actually made out so that the more effectively use it, the shorter the charge is. Correct, Skewer. I feel like, well, the Lalafell carry emote is coming soon, but they definitely need to up their mount game. Wait, let me see if, I know people have it on YouTube somewhere, right? If I can very, very quickly show you guys what it looks like. Okay, here we go. And let me bump up the resolution and drag this in like real quick, even though this says the screen is for showing doing Tian Ying practice. We're gonna temporarily bring in something else. And browser, is it browser? Is it application? Application. No, it's window capture. There we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can see all of this and I can bring my tuber behind here. But yeah, and let me maximize this while we're talking about it. Yeah, all mounts. I can't quite see chat. That is a problem. But let me just go over this quick. I'm not familiar with this, but he's playing it, that's for sure. But yeah, this is the cheetah mount that I was talking about. If you don't ride it, it chases after you. And I feel like they need more funny mounts like this. And if you can have two people ride this. The two people riding version has one person riding it, chasing after the other one. This is one mount that is already in game, a little over the top for me, but okay, looks nice. Yeah, another mount. Everything, the gacha is cosmetic, but the cosmetics are like extremely good. And here you have the little monsters. I mean, the little, yeah, as you can see, another multiple mount here. So other people who are in your party will look like that. Here's the huskies. And you can upgrade mounts which cost more. The pearls you see in the corner, they're the cost. And each upgrade gets you an additional husky who'll be dragging you along. Some of these are more standard mounts, right? But we'll leave that playing and see what you guys are saying. Magic the Gathering character. Well, to be fair, you have your own Magic the Gathering. Yeah, here's the goose mount too, by the way. Like, you get a little flock of goose who are following you. And then you have the standard horses. These aren't as interesting, but I feel like a lot of the mounts in this game are amazing. And the same goes for cosmetics. I'm like, there are some cosmetics in the Chinese server that I'm like, I'm gonna save up for this. I really like this design. Yeah, if you want a horde of camels and some friends to ride with along. Yeah, here's the cat mount. In this mount, it looks like you're riding it, but what actually happens is your character shrinks down to the size of a cat. Even though it's zoomed in, it's actually very small. And this is from one of the bosses who ride like one way or another. So yeah, it is a very, very good one. One screen Oshko. No, I have two screens. The problem is my second screen is being hogged by my PlayStation footage. That's what's happening. All of the speeds, I believe, they don't make a distinction between these, right? Because the mounts, they are just slightly above. Like, if we go over here, 10, 13, I believe a lot of the mounts, even on the shop, are the same, right? 10, 13. This is some of the premium mounts that I gotten for free. And yeah, 12, 15. Okay, maybe slightly better. I was not expecting that. I remember it being the same. Yeah, the run is the same. It's 11, 11. So yeah, I was not expecting to like the game as much, but I don't know. This might be the one gacha game that wins me over. And as you guys were talking about Kung Fu Hustle references, right? Here's another reference right here, I believe. If I can actually find it. Because the menus are, well, two references. First, the lion's roar, the bell that's used by the couple against the OP boss at the very end. And then there's the toad. Also another Kung Fu Hustle reference. And of course, the Guardian Palm. Like, the devs love their Kung Fu Hustle. You even get the little goose that you jump off from. Oh, that's pretty easy. My top 5 all are right now on my PlayStation. Well, Where Winds Meet, definitely up there. Digimon's also up there. I still have to finish it. It's even less than Where Winds Meet because this came out in the middle of me playing this, but I will finish this. I love this Digimon game. Wu-Chang, not as much a sleeper hit as the others, but I really, really like this game. I feel like this is a very chill Souls-like experience, and you can tell I like it because I put in 200 hours to this. Fantasy Life, I wish I had more time for this, but it's kind of a mix, right? If my top 5 is this and Silk Song, I'll have to take Silk Song, of course, and Clear Obscure. The other thing is Death Stranding, which I've deleted, but yeah, Death Stranding and Kunitsugami. Another game which I have not finished, but I feel like this is one of those games that are flying under people's radar, and it is exceptionally good. Yes, I have watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. A lot of that is referenced here too. Oh no, Kunitsugami came out much earlier. It wasn't even this year, but this is one of those games I played. I went to like near end of this game and then I got interrupted at the end. I need to finish this and I need to platinum it. I love this game so much. It is so unique in its design. But yeah, Claire Obscure, Silk Song, Fantasy Life, Wu-Chang, and Digimon. That's even more than 5. Okay, if I had to rank it, Weapons Meet, Digimon, Expedition will be top, without a doubt. Kunitsugami is my 4th. That means my 5th. I'll be honest, I like Fantasy Life slightly better than Silk Song. Slightly better. This might be a hot take. Silent Hill F is good too. Just so you guys know, another game I was not expecting to be impressed by, but really, it's good, mind you. Silk Song is good, but I kind of enjoy this better. I can't recommend it enough. I am so sad that Kunitsugami is not getting the love it deserves. It is by far, like with most games, right? I feel like I went back to the age of PS1 and PS2 with this game, right? Back then, when you picked up a CD, you weren't sure what kind of gameplay was on the disc because nothing was standardized. You didn't have standardized controls, you didn't have standardized gameplay, and this is exactly like that. It takes elements from various games and mixes it together in its own formula. It's like a tower defense with strategy and your own character just running around attacking. A very interesting mix, and if I need to convince you further, this is made by, I believe, the same team members as Okami, in case the artwork isn't too obvious of a giveaway. But yes, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, one of my favorite games by far none. There's also a very Samus moment in it. Don't worry, I like this game so much, I considered like speedrunning this, and I still feel like in the future I might actually consider speedrunning it because I like it so much. But the problem is so many good games are coming out. Like if you guys have watched today's Game Awards, overall I felt like it was a bit of a boring presentation because you saw barely any gameplay, right? But all the announcements were like really interesting to me. The Old Republic sequel, Fate of the Old Republic, that's one thing I'm looking forward to. The new Mega Man, that was quite a surprise. I was not expecting them to actually bring back Mega Man. There was this theory that Pragmata, the new Capcom game, might actually be their sort of take on Mega Man in the future, and then all of a sudden at the end they bring out Mega Man and I'm like, what is happening? Phantom Blade Zero, you guys know I'm gonna get it. Yes, they did. If you haven't caught Game Awards, I'd recommend you go check out the trailer for that immediately, because that is a Larian Studio game, and if you played Baldur's Gate, you sort of know what that is. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I feel like you don't quite know what it is, but go check it out. A lot of people are definitely excited for that. But again, the reason why I felt like the Games Awards was boring was not because there were not good announcements. There were plenty of good announcements. There was even a new Ace Combat game in there. The problem I had was that very few of the reveals actually had gameplay, which is usually what I get most excited about. Yeah, there is new stuff for Resident Evil Requiem, and I was watching it together with my youngest sibling, and a certain character appeared on screen, and she went fangirling so loud behind me that it just shocked me. Right there. I was not expecting that. There is a new D&D game based on the Vorlak class. There is a new Yakuza game called Gang of Dragons. 2 new Tomb Raider games, a remake of the original, and a completely new game entirely. So yeah, lots of great announcements, just not enough gameplay. That's a problem. So if you two haven't checked out the Game Awards announcement, please do. Take your time to just go through a list and see what's interesting you. So now the question is, do I want to go back in and try the challenge where I keep dying over and over again? Or we're getting hit, because right now the challenge is to do it without getting hit. Oh yeah, here's another thing that I like about this game. Even though I'm doing it right now, in actual gameplay, the game does have a practice mode for the bosses. So you can fight as much as you want without spending any resources in that practice mode. So you can heal as much as you want, use your poisons, use your items as much as you want in that mode. Correct. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Because I am not going to move. Okay, you know what? My basic gameplay loop for this game, right? Even though I really need to be going to the next area, is I've been defeating all the bosses. And when I get a little too tired of the bosses, I just go around trying to 100% a lot of these places. And it's very weird. There are so much stuff, right? If this had all the tests and everything on the map visible, people would hate this game, but they've made sure that you do not see it. And in some cases I feel like it's kind of glitched too, because I know that I have this entire place in 100, right? You see 99% over here, 99% over here too. But if I go over to the journal and go over to my sentient beings, Blissful Retreat 100%, Harvestfall Village 100%, but for some reason they're stuck in 99, and 99 in both cases. And you're gonna see a lot of this if you're playing this. It's not as polished as a AAA game. Don't expect that. I have gone into each and every boss and walked away with some sort of glitch happening in the boss. One of the bosses stop reacting the moment you hit them with a certain attack, and they won't move until you hit them again. Some bosses tend to clip into the environment and get stuck there. Now, the environment itself, right? If the boss that I was fighting a moment ago, if there's like a raised platform like this in the fight, he will sometimes miss his attacks or get stuck on them and then immediately teleport to you. So there's a lot of weirdness, but yeah. And I'm kind of surprised that no one has mentioned this. Like, no one is mentioning all the bugs and the lack of polish. On release, when I played this, the text in the cutscenes would overflow from the screens onto the sides. In a weird way, I don't feel like the parry timings are strict, right? What I do feel like is that the parry timings are very, very early. So when I see an attack, there are times where I'll have to press way before I actually see the swing. And I feel like there's some weird, either the devs are doing that intentionally or there's some weird latency thing going on even when you play it solo. Because I'm not playing on online mode right now. All of the attacks are parryable except for yellow flash attacks. Everything in this game is parryable. That's one of the reasons why I like it. It's taking a lot from... This is the best way that I can think of for solo mode, is that it's taking Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, and other Souls games and mixing it together. If you go online, it's a completely different game. There are completely different quests, completely different NPCs, and you get like little fates, like little community-driven activities to do. The fourth Hokage. I wish I could... Oh, you know what? Is it there? Is the ability to... Item use, skill assist. I was hoping. Unfortunately, even if I play the trials, you guys are not going to get the cutscenes. Once you see the cutscenes, it's gone forever. And I was hoping to show you all what this boss looks like, because this boss is so challenging, and but I still like him. And even just his introduction, the first phase has this like I can't even think of anything else but Halo, the OST for the first phase. And when you walk in, he's like a monk, but at the end, all through the first segment of the story, you've been learning about this special assassin that's done so many things and basically moved the entire story of this region along because of his actions. And then you discover that, hey, this monk guy is actually that assassin. So when you start, you'll see that the name is Mikh'a. This is a monk which apparently had a halo and brought down a comet in a village. Okay, I think my audio is desynced. Yep, it's really desynced. Alright, let me reset that real quick. But yeah, if you listen to the music, it reminds me a lot of Halo. Application audio capture, you guys can be on temporary. And let me flicker the screen for a bit so that we can fix the audio. Nothing might even happen on your guys' end. It's just gonna flicker on my end. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like audio's a lot better. Let me get my resource in before we go in. Yeah, that gold attack where he did, that was the one attack that I could not parry. Everything else is parryable. He does that a lot. So first phase is over, the monk is gone, he throws away his staff. Now he's gonna bring out his JoJo stand. Yeah, he actually does the Aura. And then he goes into this where you can't attack him at all and brings out the stand again. I get hit a lot in this phase. My basic idea is to just play it as defensively as possible. Enough, I think for these, they scale you down to match the bosses. I got hit there. The challenge is to do this without getting hit, and some of his attacks are so fast, right? That roundhouse kick, if I'm not ready for it, I can never catch it. And his phase 3 is even worse. Ow, ow. I was not expecting to get hit by that. Let me heal up so just so we can get to phase 3 and I can show you guys what's happening there. So yeah, if you were on world level 8, you would be scaled down to match the boss. I do believe that's what happened because I saw a friend of mine attempt this. But yeah, now the assassin is out. And now he's just gonna be running around and just attacking like really quickly and disappearing. And he does a lot of aura farming in this phase. There you go. There's your aura farm. I have been struggling to get through this phase without getting hit. Just being able to do all those parries was complete luck. Let's see. He's so fast. That stab is so fast. I have never been able to parry it. And what's worse is that he'll actually bring out some Bunshin clones over here, which makes things even more difficult to avoid getting hit by. And the only way you can get rid of them is by parrying him when he appears, which can get tricky. Thankfully, this heavy weapon can stun lock these guys most of the time. But yeah, I can defeat him just fine. The problem is I need to do this without getting hit. Which is, as you guys can see, a lot harder than I would have preferred it. And a lot of the other bosses are like equally fun, right? Tian Ying is the most challenging one, but another good boss I feel like in this game is Tian Ying. I like this fight too. It's been a while since I played it, so I'm probably gonna get hit a lot more. Just the fact that he has 3 phases you need to get good through without getting hit makes him extremely challenging. Another good fight, Tian Ying over here. And yeah, you can see like even the face is not properly rendering on console. In this game, love their disappearing act. Oh, I'm on the wrong weapon. I can't capitalize here. And then she's gonna jump around for a bit. More exciting if I was not using such a slow weapon, right? Because I've seen a lot of people go like really ham on this boss. Now let's push her to phase 2 because I think I kind of want to see how you guys see the second phase, which is where I was like really impressed with the boss. This phase I was like, okay, good fight. Oh, come on, you wasted too much time. I believe she's scripted to get there if you wait like a minute or so in the fight. Now she's doing the just react. Honestly, I'm doing this so bad. I did this fight much more quickly. What is that attack? Yeah, you get to this arena then. And the model hasn't loaded in, but there's another Tian Ying down there. You know what? I should have just probably gone into this not in Abyss, just so that I should have shown you guys the entire fight a lot easier. Actually have the option to choose whichever phase you want to even practice. So if I wanted to practice the other phase, I could do that too. I'm so rusty, and this is one of my favorite fights. One of the fights that I perfected the most. The first boss in this game that I completely did the mirror trials on was this boss. And after this... okay, I might just die here. After this, she'll go into her ice phase because she's almost 50%. And I'm out of healing potions too. I'm surprised she's not going into ice phase for some reason. Yeah, this might just be a death on my end. Maybe she's just at the cusp of 51, because the moment she hits 50, she usually just goes into ice phase for some odd reason. I do not know why she's... Okay, there we go. And then you change arenas and do the ice thing. And now it's a completely different moveset. He's killed me entirely, but yes, as you can see, very interesting boss fight. And yeah, like I said, you can practice any of those phases at any point. The only reflection there is the reflection of Tian, not my own. And okay, do I have to try it again to actually leave the arena? But yeah, stuff like this, right? You need to try again to actually leave the arena and everything. And even from the basic design of when you press start, you have to hold it down just to go into this menu. That's what I said I don't like about these games. But yeah, a lot of the bosses are very interesting. Oh no, they all have their own unique arenas and everything. If we go over to... Let me go over to the boss again, and maybe I'll actually do this on a normal thing, or maybe practice just so that I can show you guys what it's like. Let's try upper tier, right? Or should I go with... What would be like a good... Where's the Sleeping Douse? This is one of those bosses that I've not finished, but well, let's just jump into... I'll do it on hard because I don't even remember. You know what? I just want to show the arena to you all, so yes. Let's go with medium. There were playtesters, but I don't feel like they quite met the quota of actually ironing out the bugs here. Not yet. In fact, I'd prefer, oddly enough, right, I'd prefer if they had flatter arenas, because the boss that I was fighting on, there are times when he's on slightly elevated ground, and his moveset gets a bit weird when that happens. Because my character is short, there are times that his attack will go over my head. And that sort of slightly changes the parry timing. At least for me. I don't think the time itself changes, it's just that having that miss always makes me hesitate a bit. But yes, welcome to Sleeping Doused. The worst fight to be using a tank weapon against, because he always likes to run away, and I am so out of practice with him. This was one of the bosses on the world map that I had the most trouble with, and yes, the donkey likes to shit on you. And it'll actually poison you. to remember is that the character on the back is actually asleep. It's the donkey that's doing the fighting while the guy is just occasionally breaking out of his sleep to slap you with the brush.
乔山真虎，
And you can tell I have no practice on this, not even out of practice. I just want to get to phase 2 though, just to show you all what's happening there. Since you were mentioning the arenas.
过来吧你！
This is one fight where I prefer a faster weapon, or at least a ranged weapon, like the umbrella of fan. Okay, now we are in phase 2.
好人本无睡，无礼尽为乐。
You have a divine dragon-like moment here. And he's attacking me off screen.
我要打10个！
Now he's actually awake. Ow. Now, and you can see why I prefer having a ranged weapon here.
当心下方！
What's worse is that doing this phase will throw out like faint fireballs, like little threads that it looks like it's gonna attack you, but they're really just there to trick you. These attacks should be hitting me as well, but because my character is so short, it goes over me for some reason. Yeah, the faint ones. There we go. Now those are what I was mentioning. So yeah, they took a lot of cues from... You know what, let's just... There's nothing unique here, so I'm just gonna exit. They took a lot of cues from Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro when it comes to boss designs. And a lot... Yeah, almost all of the bosses had their own unique arenas and everything. Some of the music is very catchy too. This boss, I don't quite like his other talent itself, but the music in this boss fight is amazing. Honestly, I don't even know why, but I really like the music here. Maybe we'll just pause here just so you guys can hear the music. This. So celebratory and fun. And this guy is based on one of the most annoying enemies in the game. The game actually has mimic enemies, and he's based on them. So I was not going into this expecting to like it, but somehow the music won me over. To your point, Calyx, right? How clean it is? I believe it is mainly because a lot of wuxia stuff are like... The genre in general always has this like very... beautified look to it. Like if you watched any Chinese serials that are based on wuxia, you get the same feeling. It's all very clean and like everyone looks perfect. That's no, you know what? That's not the word I was gonna use. Flawless. Yeah, everyone looks flawless even when they're fighting. It's very rare to even get any sort of weathering. Even blood, they use it so rarely. When it comes to enemies, they'll make them look like red and black and kind of like that. But and I think if we go into like, let me just temporarily jump into online mode. and you guys can kind of see how the other characters look, and people like that, right? And people of this genre, they kind of prefer it. Here's a fun activity you can do in this game. It also has a crime system, so if I go and hit an NPC or steal their horse or do something and get caught by constables, the police force, I'll be put into jail. And one of the ways that you can get out of jail is by being publicly paraded around in town and having players like me throw fruit at you. Fruit and eggs. And each time I do this, the amount of time they have to spend in prison, because you actually have to wait a certain amount of time, the amount of time gets reduced. So yeah, this is not in solo mode, by the way. This is only available in online mode. And this is what I was saying. Playing online and playing by yourself, two different experiences. Yeah, you can kind of think of it like fates or random events from Guild Wars here, just happening. This is the MMO side of things, and this is what I was saying. Even player characters are very in that way. So if you like, you can play music too. Playing music in this game is a bit more advanced. I am not familiar with this. I have no idea who's going to attempt this on PlayStation, right? All the players around. Don't think there's any other events here, because there are usually a couple of events here that I was hoping that I'd be able to show you. Maybe it's not available at the moment, because you have these group activities like exercising together, where if you do the exercise wrong, you're turned into an animal. Oh, here's one. I'm not sure whether anyone's around. I'm only seeing one person. Oh, this is more like just practicing your sword skills. And you have emotes that are group as well. So if you use this inside here, you're gonna get more points. Although I kind of done it, so it doesn't quite matter. But you can do it solo too. Like if you just press, you can join the others in doing these cultivations here. I'm guessing we couldn't see anyone because I had not joined in, but yeah. Even everyone else kind of has that very clean lip to them, right? Yeah, different game entirely. Different game. The nice thing though is that if you are ever injured in the game, because it does have like a weird injury system, you can always hop online and there'll be tons of people ready to heal you. Oh, and I'm realizing that I'm actually out of time for today. Still want to practice that boss, but at the same time, I'm also kind of like, you know what, let's just get up tomorrow early. Because we woke up to watch the Game Awards and it wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be. If I go over to events, I can show you, like there is an event going on where people put up their customized characters and are voting on it. And as you can see, a lot of them are like very clean. These are Chinese devs, but yes, Korean and Chinese, they both value the clean look over the more gritty, realistic stuff that most of Western studios prefer. And even the players, right? Occasionally you'll find like a very interesting one. Why do I feel like this character has actually used my... Well, okay. And that was also not me, by the way. That was just the menu going weird. Like I said, a lot of weird bugs happening. I see a lot of people do this, to be honest. Yeah, very rarely you find people who actually put the blood and grit on their characters. Most of the time it's stuff like this. Like a very clean look. And the way this event works is that if you see something you like, you can actually put on the makeup for your character. You can't change how you look without paying, right? But you can change your makeup as many times as you want. Like you can even make presets for it. Oh, somebody's actually sent me a message. When did they even send this? I don't even know. The player, okay. Yeah, 2316. Wait a minute, that was just that was a few minutes ago. I must have missed it. Yes, since I am a healer, people can actually seek me out in the healing board if they need healing, right? So yeah, all those players online that need healing, you can go to their world and heal them too. And why are people so high? Why do they have tier 4 diseases? I can't even heal this high. And you yourself can actually search for a healer too. And there's even like a voting system and everything. If you go over to like the healer faction, each time they will vote on who, like they have different categories too. And an election will be held for that category, whether you're physical therapy or spiritual or whatever. But yeah, I can keep going on about this game, and I kind of want to practice even more right now instead of going to bed, but I really, really need to turn in early. So yeah, I am going to call it Gilix. Thanks for joining the stream. Hopefully I'll see you guys around too. Probably in that new Larian game that it's going to come out if you all are streaming. But yeah, good night everyone. Here's Mikh'a signing off. Take care.